Shout out to everybody here on the live. Happy 4th, July 5th. Here we go. Can we get this pump? What's going to happen here? 108,000 Bitcoin. Let's go. I'm going to dedicate this show. To V, whose dog passed away. I had 2 dogs pass away. Sad day for me. Last time my dog Rain passed away. Oh my gosh. So God bless you, man. I know exactly how you feel. It happened to me twice. Once when I was 13. Another time when I was about, I'd say about 30, 34 years old, 32. God bless you, man. Sorry to hear that. I dedicate this show to you. May your dog live in dog heaven, buddy. God bless you.
Can I
So here we are at the precipice of a big day here. Let's have some water. Let's get ready for an amazing show. Could Bitcoin pump? It just might. Just took a little bit of a pullback, 108,000. But it just seems it may be getting a bounce. It seems to love to pump whenever I come live. Let's see if it can do it again. Let's see if my live show starts this pump to the upside here for Bitcoin. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Let's jump on in to BTC. Lovely, lovely day to be alive. God bless all my beautiful souls here on the stream. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for tuning in no matter where you are in the world. Blessings on blessings. Let's take a look at what's happening to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's inside of this flag. This is where we're going to end up right here, is watching this 1 hour flag for BTC. I suggested we would go sideways here and I'd show up tonight. And that's exactly what happened. We did go sideways and here I am tonight. Wow. Who would have thought, right? We could kind of move our alert. We're going to go through and see what happened on the bigger time frame and shrink it down. See if we're going to eventually just kind of make our move further to the downside here for Bitcoin. Kind of collapse back to this key area of liquidity, which is about, I don't know, $106,326. Let's erase everything. We'll end up back here anyway. Get rid of the moving averages. Take a look at the 2-week chart. Take a look at the monthly chart. So the monthly's starting interesting, but still wick. A lot of wicks. You know, some bearish divergence technically too, if that goes up a little more on the monthly chart. So, you know, slight, unless, you know, you got to kind of get a blow off top now. Now, usually you get into the shaded region on the monthly, so that's what we're looking for, a bigger pump. And so what you're saying on the monthly is, oh, well, you had a flag. And, the 4-month flag, whatever, and that flag broke out with a measured move. And that takes you to about $140,000, right? So that key area shows me that, hey, we might be able to get a bit of a bigger pump here to the upside for Bitcoin. And then could we be in a rising wedge on the monthly too? That's going to go parabolic, a bigger leg, and just break out to a $200,000 BTC. It's crazy. That is in the cards, possibly, for these bigger time frames. I'm not trying to say this is guaranteed to happen, but you can see a move up here. That would be parabolic. That would make sense. Then we could possibly get our pullback, the bear market, to 102,98,000, maybe 89 on a wick, and then back to the upside, something like that for Bitcoin. So anyway, it seems to be setting up for a bigger move. So far, so good. The 2-week chart looking quite scrumptious. Lack of bearish momentum, defying some bearish div even on a bigger time frame, and not that far away from the 21-day moving average. The weekly as well, basically on that 21. For me, that's good enough on the weekly. You don't have to almost touch. You can just be close, and you got this flag that you broke out from too, and this wants to break to the upside. So the bigger time frames so far, to me, are intact for a bigger move to the upside. Nothing has really changed in my thesis here. And as long as we're above 104,463 here, that 104,460 area, then I remain bullish for Bitcoin. Resistance at about 109K, and can we go continue to this area here, up to that $140,000 region. So everything looks interesting. See how this weekly candle closes today. I mean, if it closes like this, it's not that great. I'd like to see it close green. I mean, it still could be a bullish pin bar, but not not my favorite. And now we take a look here at the 5-day chart, which actually you could say, well, there was 5 days straight, and it fought off the bulls, it fought off the bears, kind of came to this key area here flat on the 5-day chart. So the 5-day chart just kind of looking sideways here for Bitcoin. Nothing too crazy. The king of the cryptocurrencies. You continue to pump out. It looks to me, it also, I got a bit of a W here. That, that's got a measured move to the upside. We may never have to pull back, just 115,000 to a new all-time high. Let's take a look at that 3-day. That 3-day was giving me the most insight. And as I talked to, you guys, and we were kind of true about it, we kept saying, well, it looks like the 3-day to me broke out of a pattern. Retested, it could either continue up or roll over. You could say, well, it's still inside the pattern. When I do that, I kind of have to skip just a candle touch, which is not the worst, but it's not, But it does suggest, hey, could the 3-day chart start coming back down to the bottom of the channel? Still be a bull pennant. Still have a bullish move to the upside, right? Nothing wrong. Still have a pretty nice move here. Not really change the story and get all the way to about $125,756. So that's just kind of what we're looking at here now on the 3-day chart. And you're looking for price action to kind of come on back down to this key zone. And I don't know if I wouldn't pull, I'm going to pull a fib from the bottom there, but to me, it's a little exaggerated of a dip. But hey, could you kind of wick down to the 102,000? To me, it would be a bounce somewhere right here above this high volume node, somewhere at about 106K, maybe 105.8 for Bitcoin. And that leads me to BOOKMAP too. We're going to take a look at the liquidity. Hope you had a great 4th, somebody says here. Andrew Yorkovic for the $1.99 super chat. Andrew, God bless you. You didn't have to give, but you did. That'll come back to you tenfold. May God bless you, Andrew. Thank you so much. You're the man. You need to change your way if you're dealing with Bitcoin, man. Who is that? I don't know what that person means. Bitcoin blow off top to 140, 150 if we're lucky, in my opinion. Wow. Yeah. Shout out to our man, Vegas Claw. Shout out to everybody here in the house. Blessings on blessings. So let's take a look here at BOOKMAP and see what's happening on the liquidity side here for BTC. Before I jump on in and kind of finish this off. So we can see there's a lot of liquidity here and here to the downside for Bitcoin, 106,000. So does it, suggest we could get a move here down? 105, 106K. It is deeper red below us. We do have some good liquidity. Seeing if, there we go. Yeah, see, we got some red. We got some good liquidity above us there, too. All the way up to 110,000, 110.7. But right now, the biggest red on the board is sitting down low. And my suggestion is that we head lower here, somewhere down to 105.8. Liquidate these longs. And take out everyone that's kind of hiding out here, right? I bought ITK. I'll never forget the day I bought 19K Bitcoin with you on the live. Thank you for all the knowledge you taught with me. And Master Friend 333 baby, living life. God bless you, PS5, Future of Gaming. We bought a $19,000 Bitcoin here on the live. And we're up beautifully on that play. Oh my gosh, right? That alone could be legendary, but there was so many more too since then. And it just, but nobody even knows. So a lot of people come to this channel, they don't even know that, right? And they'll be like, but that's okay. I realize that now is if you've done a lot of amazing things, if you're lucky to have done a lot of amazing things, not everyone's going to know, right? And you're not going to be able to tell everybody, right? So like, hey, look at it, I'm amazing. I know. But the point is, stay humble, be humble, and life will be amazing. That's all. That's really what it comes down to. Everything takes care of itself if you're in the right state of mind. Stay in the present moment. Don't stress because there's no need to stress. You're one of God's children. You were meant to have a beautiful life. Why are you stressing out? If you're stressing out, you're thinking about the past and things that have happened to you. We need to kind of get over that. And maybe you need some therapy. I needed it. Maybe you need to just talk about it with a friend. Maybe some way, somehow you need to get over that. Now, okay. So that's why a lot of people feel anxiety. They're in the past a lot, right? Or they're thinking about the future and what's going to happen. They're going to fumble something up. And so they have anxiety over a mistake they're going to make. Again, fear of the future or a previous fear from the past creeping back into the present. So if we can stay in the present moment and stay in gratitude and say, what do I do have? What am I grateful for? And stay in that moment, I believe we can find peace in our hearts and peace in our minds. And if we can do that on a daily basis, because every day is kind of the same day in a way, every day is different and a blessing, but it's the same, you have the same routine. Stay positive. No matter what happens, flip it into a positive mode. No matter what happens, flip it positive. No matter what comes your way, flip it positive. And that with that mindset, no matter what comes your way, you're going to be on top because you're going to flip it to a positive. And that becomes a habit. Neuroplasticity. If you're not doing that, you're complaining a lot. You're in a mind state where you're not that grateful. We need to flip the way you're thinking. To flip the way you're thinking, we need to get you into a repetitive process of doing the same thing over and over again. I found working out will help you fix that. But a real workout at the same time every day. Like you have to have this consistent workout that you hit. Something that kind of Similar, you know, hit the same time, same type of intense workout. Thirsty, so sorry. But that's like, you know, speaking of working out, man, I just get thirsty immediately, you know. But I find working out really changes pace, gets things going. So, Bitcoin. Don't be surprised if for the next few days we kind of slow bleed down for a bounce. Could even make a right shoulder and dump here too, so just be careful. I'm open-minded. I'd like to see us bounce. We'll see what happens. I'll take it one step, one day at a time though, right? We'll get in here and then we can break out. The bigger time frame suggests we could get a move. I see some back and forth. 12-hour looks interesting though. 8 hours riding the wave. The 4 hours sideways now here too. And then that brings me to the 1, which is at least above the 200 moving average. And being above the 200 can be bullish, especially touching the 21. And it's an ascending triangle. Now, these are 50%. They're not 100% patterns. They don't break out, but I like it when they're above the 200 with the 21. So this either dumps straight down, loses that, and we keep coming down. And we're basically at a resistance here, and we're going to drop. Or we get a nice breakout to the upside. What's going to happen? I'm not sure. I'm leaning towards the idea that we'll pump because I love longing when the 21's touching above the 200. So I'll stay loyal to my system and say, you know what, I'm bullish. And I'm looking for a pump. That way we dump tomorrow, you can say I was wrong. All right, I'll pick a side. I say we dump, we pump. But the charts are telling me there's a higher chance that we get a nice pump back to somewhere, 109,299 before anything else. And so you heard it here first. I'm looking for a breakout for Bitcoin, even tonight into tomorrow. 15-minute needs to get back above the 200 moving average for any of this to happen. Once we do that, we can get a massive move. 5-minute has broken above the 200. You can see that was the beginning of a bit of a pump there. The 5-minute made a flag when the 21 touched, and it did give it a little bit of a pump. And the 1 minute crossed the 200 here, faked the head and shoulders, small little move, got above it and pumped. But yeah, I would be watching that 15 and making sure that 15 gets back above the 200 moving average. If that happens, we can have some fireworks up to 109. If we get rejected by it, look for this to roll over, and we'll be back down somewhere at 107,000. So only time will tell. Right now, it's bearish until we get back above the 200 moving average on the 15-minute time frame. But that's, I just gave you the sauce, really. The 15-minute is going to give you what's going to happen to Bitcoin, and that's all you need to know right there. And it's going to happen in the next, I'd say, hour at the most, 2 hours. That's your sauce right there for Bitcoin. That's how to play Bitcoin. You don't need to know what's up. You need to know how to play it. It's kind of like bullfighting, right? You don't need to know which way the bull's going to go when it gets there. You just need to know how to maneuver when the bull goes a certain way. Agreed? Yeah. I don't know if that's the best metaphor, but it's somewhat similar, right? You got to make a move at that one moment. That's when you strike to make the trade. You're either up or down. You'd like to be up. How do you make that trade? Look for that 15-minute to make that break to the upside. Crack that 200 and get a really nice move on. That could travel all the way back to $109,056. All right, and that would help some altcoins get some moves on. Let's take a look at ETHBTC and see if that's going to budge at all. ETH Bitcoin. So ETH, I wanted to see it bounce a little stronger there. Started to roll over yet again, but can we get the move back up? You know, you roll over, you hit this bearish retest, that you come down possibly for a double bottom, but then I'd have more faith it could drop back, you know, ETH Bitcoin could drop. So I'd like to see ETH Bitcoin hold this key level, all right, make an inverted head and shoulder and give altcoins a chance to breathe here. So if this starts to lose the key level, then we know that ETH Bitcoin and the altcoins really aren't going to gain some traction right just yet. Let's take a look at Ethereum. I have a long on Ethereum. Is that going to hold? That's a big question. Let's take a look at that and see what the probabilities are for Ethereum here. Where's a good spot? Oh, yeah, ETH, USDT, Bybit, Maxe. So last time I had it, wanted to see it flag, whatever, and then we saw the shoulder. But we did call it. We said right shoulder looks like ETH is going to dump. I don't think I put it out on this actual time frame. I think I put it out on the Binance chart. Right there you go. Wanted to see if we could bounce. We never did. Head and shoulder did take the dump to the downside. They just took the whole market kind of, right? So let's take a look here at ETH, Bitcoin, Ethereum by itself. Now it's doing well against Tether right there, right? And you can see, I mean, inflation, it's Ethereum. I'd like to see it hold above the 200 moving average, get tight. And there's a chance when Bitcoin makes this move, sometimes we get a pump too. You know, it's like in between though. You know, it's, to me, it's a symmetrical triangle, and mainly I've been seeing these break to the downside, possibly come back for a double bottom at 2,200. Hard to tell exactly what's going to happen. Right now, it's more down. The daily stochastics stay down. This pattern breaks down more than it doesn't, and it's a 50% pattern, 50-50. So there's a chance this does take a tumble here, all the way back down to about, I don't know, 1898. So, yeah, I don't know. ETH doesn't look amazing right now. It is getting above. Let's see if it can stay above the daily 200 moving average. Get a nice shoot to the upside, go tight, and break on out of here to the other side. Once ETH breaks above 2,600, I would expect it to bullishly retest at some point, and then continue up to about 28, and then the bigger target is 36. I'd love to be more bullish on ETH. I just want to see us, you know, hey, I like that we're getting a little bit of a move here above the 200 moving average on the daily, and we're kind of fighting it right here on the 4-hour too as well. So it could go either way, but could be a good chance that ETH is at the end of its leg for the selling and could start to consolidate somewhat here. You know, but, and I like to look at Solana too as well, just to see where we're sitting, and that's still got that shoulder, head, right shoulder. That's getting tight, looking more like it's in a what I call a descending triangle, right? These are more bearish than bullish too. So I don't know, altcoins look like they were going to be big movers. Now we're like seeing if these symmetrical triangles could break out. Very tight. We're getting oversold. There's a chance here. Let's take a look at the big picture for Solana. Weekly has a little bit of like a flick, you know, like maybe it could flip up, but it is a little extended. About 147 and somewhat rolling over. Could go either way. Doesn't look amazing right now, though. 5-day chart, you could say, is in that, like, handle. It's in this cup and handle. And you're looking for this to do the breakout. 3-day chart battling the 200 moving average. Moving averages are getting tight, though, suggesting something could brew. Then I watched the daily. Daily looks like, you know, legit. And I'd say it's broken out. And it could continue to pump somehow, some way. Sorry, I hit something there. Yeah, and then it just brings me to this, though, which is like starting to get more descending than anything else. Looks like it may dump further down. I don't know, 125. I could be wrong. It just doesn't look amazing. That pattern mainly dumps to the downside. And then you're kind of watching this too, like the 1 hour here. So, yeah, it doesn't look amazing. Bit of a descending triangle here for Solana. And that's like, you know, 134. Yeah, 133 is the target there. So, I don't know. It looks a little Adam and Eve double toppy. It could break out. Don't get me wrong. Usually it looks bearish and then they'll pump it. So, I'm always wary. 3-day charts just getting back above the 200 or attempting to. Yeah, market looks a bit odd to me, especially on, but it is a slow, you know, low volume holiday weekend, so I don't expect a lot. Neither do a lot of people, obviously. It's probably the biggest holiday as trading goes, I think, in the whole season. Like, as it gets affected by it. The other ones, you don't even really notice them. This one, you really like, you know, like nobody trades on July 4th. It's weird. Okay, might be a good to lock it. Actually, I'm curious to see action during the government's crypto week with various legislation on the table. Yeah, I mean, and a lot of big money has been accumulating ETH behind the scenes recently. So I got big old bags of ETH. I got my ETH stack, so I'm happy with what I got. With those talking about AERO, 100%. Wait for it to consolidate from the drop. Plus liquidity spoken with internet. Rate cuts come September. Yep. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. How many people we got here on the live stream? And if you want to trade, we have links to weeks. BTCC, right? Also, TOOBIT. Recently just had an awesome, cool thing for TOOBIT. If you want to jump on into TOOBIT, you get an awesome bonus, right? I think you can't get anywhere else. Like, you get matched pretty quickly. So check it out. I was talking about that the other day. Like, hey, and that trade played out really nicely too. So, and what did I even say is TOOBIT? Like, it's like, you know what I mean? TOOBIT. All right. And team up, that ends on 7/16. Right. So, and if you raise your trading volume, get on in, deposit 1,000 and get 1,000 USDT future bonus. Deposit 500, get 400, 200, get 100. Deposit 100, get $50. So it's pretty awesome. All right. If you register under this invitation code, you receive a 50 USD register bonus and a special 1,000 USDT trading bonus. So jump on and check it out. All right. Use it to get paid. Use it to learn. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't think I'm saying you should be taking this financial advice. So, Uni USD pumping. You like Uni? Uni's all right. You know, I got along on AERO USD. How's it looking? Let's take a look at AERO on Coinbase. You know, it looks just like Bitcoin. Doesn't look good. I had this long open up too there. It looks like they might stop hunt it. And honestly, it's got like that descending triangle vibe. And it looks like Bitcoin, but this one's already kind of breaking down. So that AERO trade to me is kind of cooked. Or not cooked just yet, but very close to cooked. And you're hanging on the edge, but you're starting to break out. And that would be a dump for AERO. Somewhere back to 53.97. Yes, waiting to get back in on AERO. Nowhere. Yeah, shout out to Dizzy Gang. Shout out to Rave Song Records. Love learning. I just wanted to say thank you for showing up for us as you do. Always grateful. Shout out to Rad Crypto for the $10 super chat. That'll come back to you tenfold, man. God bless you. Thank you so much for the awesome viewership, the awesome community. No community is better than the Lifer community. You guys have proved it time and time again. I thank you so much for the viewership and the constant love. Bitcoin, a little bit of a pumperoni here. 18,230. I predicted if I had to say anything that we would get a pump to the upside for Bitcoin, break through this 200 moving average. Look what I'm starting to see. I'm seeing a shoulder ahead. Let's get that right shoulder. Let's go on our way back to 108,006. I believe we can. Can I kick it? Yes, we can. All right. Bitcoin reigns, gang. Alts seem like the misdirection more. Hey, you never know. Bellico, you can't have fireworks with the pants on. Yeah. Lower price of Bitcoin each month for the last 4 months, with approximately 74 in April, 94.3 May. Yeah. Higher lows, man. Yeah. It's basically counterparties, which I believe at times to be actual exchanges, but they have the holdings off the books. Greetings from Germany. It's 4:05. It's still live with the king. You're the man, dude. Shout out to MJ Crypto in the house. Shout out to Crunk. Shout out to Nick Giacaruso. Shout out to my whole amazing crew. And my whole team, everybody out there on the live. It's every time when you see a bull div and bear div at the same time, or is it just me? Possibly, but it's usually because you're looking at like a stretched piece of information that you need to separate. Yeah. As you get better and better divergence, you'll start being able to piece together that that's just not what's happening. Yeah. Or one will have stronger, and I could probably find a great example, but it'd be a little daunting on the show right now. We talked about MOODENG. We liked it down here at about 13. It popped to 18. Had a wick to 23, actually, to the upside. My buddy had a MOODENG shirt on yesterday. It was pretty crazy. He came over to my house for a barbecue. I'm not lying. He had a MOODENG. And I said, where'd you get that? He's like, oh, I got it in Thailand. Like, it's a famous hippo. And I'm like, do you know about the coin? And he's like, no. I was like, did you know about the coin or the hippo? He's like, I just knew about the hippo. He's like, now he knows about the coin. So MOODENG, for whatever reason, is hot compared to most other projects right now. And I could see MOODENG breaking out tonight or into tomorrow. Throughout the week, possibly back to 22 cents. So watch your MOODENG. That's very interesting right now. MOODENG. Shout out to the awesome super chats. Let's get these out there. Let's see if we can take a look at all the fan funding. You people are very nice and generous. So let's take a look here. We got Jason Ballard. Can we check AERO, Joe? We took a look at AERO. Yeah. Have a great 4th with the family. Andrew Yorkovic. Thank you, Andrew. BONK. As it passed the 200 exponential moving average, let's take a look at BONK. Seemed to be kind of the big winner of the day, too, when you kind of look at the charts there. BONK ripping still as we speak, ripping to this. Wow. Yeah, and just once it gets above the 200 moving average, you go look at the 1 hour and how it did it, too. Once it got above the 200, it touched the 21, it was gone. Seemed to make kind of a flag here that it then broke out of, too. Still strong for BONK. Wow. What a big move for BONK. You got to look at that 15 minute, see what's kind of really happening, maybe in the 7. I'll look at our 15. I mean, it's continuing to make some previous resistance and then higher highs, right? Little flag that broke to the upside. Crazy. Seems to be kind of on the way to that measured move. Look, your 4 hours kind of getting away from that 21-day moving average, though, and you went straight up. Basically parabolic 1, 2. I don't know. I'd say it's bullish enough to see if it can catch up later on, but that 21 is far. I'd say if it could push up one more time, but eventually it's going to have to kind of do something like this. Or start smaller here. But that's a bit, But yeah, BONK, I wouldn't chase it. I wait for it to come back to that 21. Does look like it might have a little bit more legs left on the smaller time frames, like your 1 minute. So flag out your 1, see if it could kind of continue, and that might be the last hurrah there until it starts to kind of pull back. BONK. Ripping. Thank you. Just wanted to say thanks for showing up as you do. Yep. And Nick, is there ever time? Yep. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Andrew, Mike, and Rad Crypto, and Jason Ballard. You people are amazing. God bless you all. Shout out to the 800 beautiful souls here on the live. Shout out to the likes. Make it the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, Deep Oak looks nice. SWE looks nice. The coins that are hot are on a tear. Look at that. SWE on a monster move. Once across the 200 moving average, boom. To the upside for SWE. And I see SWE in that giant inverted head and shoulder, eventually going to make its way to the upside, bouncing off the 618 and headed high, on the way. So SWE looks interesting and bullish to me for sure. All right. Don't chase him, just replace him. Amen. Please don't watch the market to move now. They want it to move later on. Can't tip it. You guys are funny. So yeah, there's still a lot of opportunity out there. Definitely still some Bitcoin too that's not, looking like we could continue to pump right now. Cross that 215 and have a huge night. Look for the right shoulder, but we could continue to pump. So I'm a little more bullish than bearish regardless, and I'm looking for a move tonight for Bitcoin or this right shoulder to be made. And I'll check back in the group throughout the day, but that's about it. I wanted to kind of get in and out here on a beautiful, beautiful night. Hope you're having a wonderful time. One more day, basically, for this beautiful holiday weekend, and then it's back to brass tacks. The market's open again, and we're back to regular life. Looking like Bitcoin might get this either this right shoulder or continue to bump. I'm pretty bullish on it tonight. Let's see if we can get the move above the 200 and really get the continuation to the upside for BTC. Everybody, I love you. I'm going to jump on out of here. I'll be back tomorrow morning for just a quick in and out around 6, 7, probably 7:38 in the morning. And then we'll do it again like we always do every single week. God bless you all. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your time. Just wanted to do a quick Bitcoin update, show you what I see in the market, and get you guys going. Sweet sounds. Yeah, thank you, big dog. Yep. Yeah. We'll be back when the market starts to rip on Monday and the liquidity is fresh and hard. You know? And we're going to see those crazy short squeezes and a lot of movement up and down, and people just get rocked and wrecked. So it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Everybody, I love you. I thank you so much, and I appreciate you. I'll see you all tomorrow in the AM. Early bird gets the word. Remember, the secret to success is getting started. I start hard every day. It didn't sound right. I start every single day pushing myself to the limit. You can too. Thank you, dear Lord, for my use of my legs, that I may walk to the bathroom is how I started my day, and it was a wonderful day. May the good Lord give me yet another beautiful day tomorrow where everyone in my family stays healthy and amazing. Blessings on blessings to my sister's kids, my kids, my wife, and everybody that had a great day, my brother-in-law, and amen. 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 Thank you, everyone, for being here. I appreciate you all. You support my love, my family, my passion, and the ability to help others. I'll see you tomorrow.